Hey guys, it's Laura with Victory Cheer Uniforms. As you know, our motto, the look that inspires, is really based on what happens throughout the sport of cheer. How one generation inspires the next. From coaches to athletes to parents to the crowd, the team spirit, it is all a virtuous cycle of inspiration. Our channel, Victory Voices, is all about sharing those inspiration stories. We hope you enjoy this one. Like, share, and comment, the trifecta, help to encourage in their inspirational journeys, and feel free to contact us to share your inspiration journey throughout the beautiful sport of cheer. Hey everyone, it's Laura with Victory Voices here from Victory Cheer Uniforms. Today we have got Vaughn Sterling with us, and he is going to be talking about his competition brand, Global Cheer Dance, that is absolutely shaking up the competition market, bringing a lot of excitement to us during the fall and springtime. We're so excited to have him on with us, sharing what inspired him to get into this industry, into this space, and how his competition has really inspired other cheerleaders and affected other cheerleaders throughout the country. Vaughn, how long have you been in business now?
We started Global, next season will be our sixth full season. We started virtually actually back in COVID when it was very first started, and then we came into doing in-person events. So we've blown up quick and have made a lot of nice changes, nice things that a lot of gyms are loving.
Awesome. So you said you got started in during COVID, virtually. What inspired you to do that at that time?
Well, at the time we had a gym, and we had seen somebody else that was trying to do a virtual, and it was just like from a laptop camera, reading a piece of paper and some pre-recorded type videos. And I thought, the athletes, even though it's COVID, deserve a little more than that. And so my brain started thinking ESPN studios and all of this live stuff and live hosts with monitors and the right lighting and live judges along the wall. And, they're judging the videos live as they're watching them too. So it gives the effect more so of an in-person event. And I've got a really good broadcasting buddy out in Denver, and I called him, and he came out, and we put in a studio, and so we started our virtual events, and they really took off. So we had great registration numbers at all of them. We did full awards. We mailed out all the awards. We had live hosts and commercials in between breaks, the whole 9 yards. So it was a full production that all of the gyms could actually stream. And we called it Real Championships, REEL. And actually, because of the demand for bids this coming season for Global Cheer Worlds, we actually brought back Real Championships this year. So my guy actually comes in this weekend. We start putting the broadcast studio back together. The whole thing will be live. So that it's more of a real competition, and we have gyms coast to coast that are wanting to be able to win bids and wanting to compete.
You're going to have to send us maybe a few clips of what it looked like back in the day when you were first getting started, and let's compare that with where you're going now. Where's your vision now for this season?
Well, I mean, on the virtuals, obviously, technology has come a long ways in the 6 years. I mean, the quality of cameras have even changed. The things that we have, the tools that we have available to us, even as individuals at home, let alone, in a professional market. So we can step up a lot of things compared to what it used to be and do things now at a higher level than we could. Bigger awards also, bigger production, just a lot more fun. It's a full streaming experience for the entire gyms. They'll be able to watch all of the other teams that are competing there. They can watch it in an entire stream at their gym, or individually, they can just log in and be able to watch it from home, gym parties, whatever they want to do. There's a lot of fun things that they can do with that for team bonding. Parent bonding also is huge, for a gym. So,
I love the key word there, fun. You bring a
yeah,
lot of fun to the industry. Um, so
right.
what really keeps you going in this?
Well, it's just the fun and the growth, and when you're at these events and I'm out walking around and you see these athletes just loving it and really enjoying it, families even telling, coming up to our staff and myself and saying thanks, that they've got a better experience than they've had at other events. They appreciate the extra things that we do. That's kind of what I'm in it for. I was just a cheer dad. I sat in the seats for years and years myself. Just always wanted to do more, and so I'm having a blast with it. And the more that I can give, the more fun it is to me. So.
So what type of things set Global Cheer Dance apart in the fun factor from some of the other competitions that you've seen that are a little bit more possibly well known?
Yeah, we're just not maybe quite as formal. We don't just ship you in, ship you out, ship you in, ship you out. We want the families and the athletes who are working all week to pay the bills and giving us all a job to put on the event. We want them to be able to have an experience that day, when they come and they're sitting there for 6-7 hours on their Saturday or their Sunday. They deserve a little bit more than enter here, enter here, exit there. Let's get the families involved. Let's have them up dancing in the seats, and let's have some fun. The athletes, next season, we're adding the cameras for the entryways so that we can put those on the video walls, and see what kind of games we can come up with that. Whether they win or lose, if they don't win first place, we don't want them leaving crying. We want them to understand they need to go back and work harder, possibly, but they still enjoyed their day, and the family did also. So that's the big thing.
Yeah, building memories and having a good time. That's a win in my book. One of the coolest things that I saw out there in Pensacola last month was a double-decker dance party on the huge cheer mat, where girls are just throwing their stunts in the middle of the dance party, and the flexibility. I mean, obviously you guys did keep it within safe bounds, but the flexibility that you allow for just having a good time was the vibes that were coming off of it was amazing.
All of our staff, you can walk up to any of our staff anytime. Our MC, Southern Hayes, he's been with me for 4 years now. Several of the other staff are multiple years. So it really just adds to our laid back atmosphere of letting the athletes compete. But dang it, let's have some fun too.
Right. And like you said, the moms, I saw tons of family members and coaches up there that were doing a line dance in front of your big photo banner, and they were just having the best time. They were getting down.
I don't want to say it, but a lot of these moms are living through their kids, so let them have that fun at the events. They're working all week long. They're giving up their Saturdays to come out with their daughters and their kids. They might have a little sibling. That's why we went to ages 10 and under are free at all of our events. We started that 3 years ago. It wasn't anything new last year. It was 3 years ago that we started that in the industry. And those siblings, they need to come and watch their little brothers and sisters, or they have to come and watch that. And so it's just too expensive to be charging for that. And the moms, they've got a 6-year-old tugging at them that they want nachos and they want a pop and they want. So anything that we can do to kind of alleviate that day of time that they're giving just kind of helps.
That's some pretty thorough thinking on the younger siblings and the ones who need to come as well and support them. Oh my gosh. And the siblings. So you had pulled up the cheer brothers. Who was the
Yeah.
best cheer brother? Can you tell us about that and a little bit of your background thought on that particular event?
Yeah, we love doing that. And I'm always challenging Southern Hayes to come up with some new things to do. And we sit in phone calls, during the off season, even during the season, staff and one of the things that we thought of was, uh, all these brothers are here in the seats and they're having to watch their sisters all day. We started the brother challenge, and we would pull up the brothers, and at first they don't know what they're getting into, and they we call out, hey, what, who are the brothers out here? And of course they all stand up and start waving, having fun. And then when we call them down to the floor, I think they probably start getting a little bit nervous, and then they decide when they got to start doing forward rolls and jumps and everything else. I think they start getting a little nervous, and they realize they didn't sign up for all that.
And they probably start thinking about, wow, my sister does work really hard. Or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
brother, maybe it's a brother of a brother.
yeah. But it's
And,
neat when that brother gets to win that bow for his sister, and go up and get a bow at at the merchandise area, and give that bow to his sister. Or I mean, I don't know. I guess he could keep it if he wants to, but I think most of them do give them to their sisters. So
I could see some of the brothers at that event maybe rocking a bow. They were rocking some pretty neat
yeah,
looks.
the pink tutus, and yeah, it's crazy seeing the support that they give their sisters. Yeah, it's great.
Tell us about what you learned maybe from your first virtual event and what you learned from your first physical event.
Well, from the virtual events, I realized that the ideas of trying to give more, uh, parents and athletes did notice that, so that helped maintain my focus towards parents and athletes and the families. Um, my first live event made me realize that people got a little spoiled working at home, and nobody can do your job at home on event day. We had, staff that were from the venue that had to turn on and off the internet service. So all of a sudden, when their computer system reached a certain amount of data, it logged us out, and then we couldn't get a hold of the guy. He was supposed to be on call, but he wasn't. He had the free will, and I don't know what he was doing, but we figured out a lot of things at that first in-person event that we need to be ready for in case. And we've taken those steps, and we have all of those. We have the link satellite internet services now. Um, our events for our scoring and our judging purposes, we never lose internet power now. We never go down. There's, a lot of that technical stuff behind the scenes follows through and really creates the difference of the end product to the parents. And it's things that they just don't see, that we have to overcome behind, the stage, I guess you would call it, to make sure that everything does operate correctly.
Firing on all cylinders and having all hands on deck makes a big difference.
It
So,
does. We do a lot of staff trainings all year here at my property. We bring them in. We do staff training multiple times a year to go over new things, ideas, training on all of our new systems. We've spent 2 years developing the best registration system in the industry that actually gives tools to the coaches and gyms that they don't get anywhere else with any other registration system. So,
what
uh,
kind of tools do they get with your registration system?
uh, all of their score sheets are inside of their account, in the zip registration when they create an account. All of their score sheets are in there. They don't have to thumb through emails and try and save them. They can go right back to it. We've got some new features that are coming up for next season to help chart exactly where they're scoring at from event to event when they compete with us, in all of their drivers, building, tumbling, overall, and their deductions, legalities. They'll be able to track all of that. We've got our live streaming virtual stuff that will be right inside at their zip registration, score sheets. We have cheat sheets that they can actually fill out for all of their drivers and everything that they're going to need in their routines to be level appropriate to max out. All the cheat sheets will be inside their zip registration account. They can pull those up. Just a lot of tools to help them, achieve higher scores, make things easier, less time. They can automatically, the day after the event, they can automatically go in there and accept all of their bids to Global Cheer Worlds. And when they're registered to that event, it automatically deducts it off of their invoice. They can make a game out of it with their. There was a gym last year that every week after they competed with us, their next team practice, they would open up the invoice, they would accept the bids right there on the computer in front of all the parents and the athletes. And then they would go to the invoice and write down the new number. So they were counting it down on how much their bids were taken off of their total registration fees. They can do all of that stuff right from their account. It's all trackable, shows everything. It's just a big office tool, basically, so that they can spend more time coaching instead of tracking down score sheets and thumbing through things.
Yeah, that sounds like a really fun team event. See how much you're progressing together.
Yeah.
So with your team, you were talking about doing a lot of trainings. How do you feel like your leadership style has developed over the past 6 years with your internal team?
Well, internally, our staff has a lot more experience now than they did before. It's great when we can discuss things that worked and maybe didn't work quite as well as we thought. And they have a little bit more free reign of ideas, developing ideas, bringing strategies to me. Since we have so many more staff now behind the scenes and at events, working on things all the time, obviously I'm not doing it all anymore. When we started, it was me, myself, and I, and it was a little rough, but and I think that I'm a little bit more laid back because of the success that we do have with gyms loving the events, that I'm a little bit more laid back because I want the staff to be able to be creative, come up with new ideas, have that connection to the events, and want to work harder themselves at seeing the results that we're doing for the athlete on the floor. Well, it gives them that assurance that they're doing great and that they matter.
It does. Yeah, just knowing that they're doing their job well is just an extra affirmation for them. And a lot of people, they're motivated by a lot of other things than just money. So a job well done and being proud of that at the end of the day, that's a rock solid team when you have people that are motivated by that.
Oh, 100%. I agree. Yeah.
So what was one of your high pressure decision moments in the past 6 years? I know we saw a lot of pressure happening in Pensacola last month. The rain was throwing some curveballs your way. But what's one of the high pressure moments that you've had to deal with?
I don't know if any of them are more high pressure than the other. I came from my background in my career before this. Had a lot of curveballs in it, so I guess I just had a lot of years of handling that. We don't get stressed out very often. It's all kind of the same. We try to prepare for everything ahead of time. Sometimes you get thrown off just a little bit, but we get a lot of gyms that come up and the coach is just totally nervous. Oh my God, Sally isn't here yet. Her mom's running behind. They got stuck in traffic. We're going to be 10 minutes late to practice. We just don't know what we're going to do. And, I don't know, from the way that it looks, from the way that they present themselves with that situation, it's that they have a hard time at other event producers or other events, and we're pretty laid back. It's everything is we can work through it. Hey, no problem. Let's walk you back there and let's figure out next time slot we can get you into, and we tell the announcing, we tell the judging stage, and we work through it. So most problems really aren't that big of a deal in my eyes, and my staff, luckily through training, have pretty well come around the corner to where they don't get worked up near as much on things either. Cheerleading seems to be kind of a worked up industry when little things go wrong, and scores and falls and that type of stuff. But the better that we can make everything more comfortable and more laid back, I think it makes the entire experience better. But there's nothing that I think, can run into that we haven't already. We've had staff shortages. We've had events to where only 3 people could make it to the event because of ice and weather, and flights canceled, and no rental cars, and roads just not safe to travel on. And you get to an event, I pull up in the semi and there's 3 of us there, and I'm not canceling the event for nothing. So we just roll with it, and we get it set up, and we might not have the lights put up. We get the backdrop, we get the awards out, we have the sound, we get the judging out, and we get it all set up. But I've learned it all from the ground up. The lighting, the sound, the judging, all of our systems. I drive my semi, everything to set up from an event open to close. I've learned, just because of those situations, we don't want to have those problems come up to where it just throws an entire event off, and we have to cancel or something. So
Yeah.
we've shown up at venues, and the venue begging me to cancel an event because snowstorms are coming in, and finally last minute I'm sitting there. Last year in February in Hickory, North Carolina, I flew all my crew still in. I told them that they had to catch their flights. I drove in with my semi. The venue was sitting there in their office saying that storm's coming. And I'm like, I don't know. And my guys are unloading the semi. And finally, about 6 hours later, we were getting more and more updated reports. And that storm was coming in. And so I did go ahead and cancel, and we rescheduled. We worked it all out there with the venue. My guys packed everything back in, and we took off south, and we beat the snow by about an hour. And they did end up getting, 8 or 10 inches of snow overnight. And it would have been a nightmare, that next morning. But I wanted to be there. I wanted to see it, to believe it before we just canceled. And we did it. So
I'm glad you were able to put safety first. I was in North Carolina for that storm. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
That was one for the record books.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, even out of the beach, they had like 12 inches of snow. How does that even happen?
Yeah. We had to be we were in Hickory, North Carolina one weekend, and we were in Columbia, South Carolina the next weekend. It was far enough south. So I took off in the semi from Hickory, and we hightailed it south. And there was going to be maybe an inch or 2 of snow that was going to come through Columbia also. Well, I had 5 days to kill until, we had to be in Columbia, South Carolina. So I went ahead and took off 6 hours and went to Pensacola, Florida. And I hung out there at the venue and went over set up and everything for our Global Cheer Worlds. I just stayed down there for 2 days in Pensacola, and waited for the snow to blow over, and then went back to Columbia. So I was able to beat it and get out of all the snow.
Nice. So when downtime does pop up, you really do make the most of it.
Yeah, during the season, we go 7 days a week,
Yeah.
all the way from November till the end of May. We are 100% 7 days a week, and oftentimes we're 16 hours a day, 4 or 5 days of that seven. So,
You guys don't quit, but
no,
it pays off. You know,
yeah,
your events are epic. Your team is epic. I met a lot of people from your team, and they were all just salt of the earth kind of people. Fantastic to be around.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we didn't get much time to talk in there. I was so busy that I didn't get to see you much in Florida, but
No, you were hopping.
yeah, I know that I like to stay involved, and most people, most of the people don't even know who I am when I'm out wandering around or grabbing water for a staff or whatever we need to do. But most people don't even realize who I am or what I'm doing, and but it's fine. I'm everyday person, and we just got to keep it rolling. And I like staying involved. It keeps it fun for me. So I'm glad I got great staff that can take care of about anything and everything. So
They do. They do.
I'm
Yeah.
one of the best water boys in the industry.
You blended in very well as a regular old cheer dad there, but you got a lot of extra going on.
I grab waters and hand them to staff all day long. They do great.
So what's some of the lessons that you've learned, from all of these trials that have come up that you've just been growing through? What's one of those growth lessons that really stands out to you?
As an event producer, we're kind of the same as the cheer team. We might not hit 100%. We might not hit a perfect routine, but don't quit on us. We don't quit on your team. If you're coaching them, they get a 92 or a 94 or a 96. Of course, you want them to get better, and you're going to keep working on it. We hope that we can get a 96 on our scorecard. We're not going to make everybody happy, but to keep trying to push for that 100%. If we do something wrong at an event, if a situation we hear it out from maybe a gym, and we hear their situation and their side of the story, maybe it sometimes makes us look a little different on the way that we approach it also, and maybe we can work through it and make things better. That's one of the biggest things that I think that I've learned through it all is we're not 100%. But if we can always shoot for that 100%, at least knowing that we're getting a 96, we're no different than the cheer team is on the floor. They're trying to get 100% too. So I tell my crew that all the time. Remember, if we got a 96, let's try, what can we do to get a 97? Let's try and get a little better. And we talk about that all the time, even the staff during setup, when they say, hey, we're all done. I say, are you sure? Are we going to get that 97 or that 98? Is that floor clean? Is everything put away? No trip hazards, stuff like that. So one of the biggest things is just do the customer service, try and work through problems, hear out the gyms, hear their side of it. And it's not always, well, this is just the way policy is. That's not the right answer all the time. So I think that's kind of my take on how that we try to operate, I guess.
Yeah, it's awesome. You can just have a conversation with people. You don't have to be, so very strict and stringent with your policies. The flexibility of Global Cheer Dance I love it. So is there a way, is there a form, or is there something in the app that coaches can use to communicate maybe feedback or something fun that they think, could maybe be at the next season? There was
Yeah,
something to communicate that
yeah,
with you?
we send out emails all the time to send us your feedback, give us ideas, message us on our page. we're always open to any of those ideas. We have a support email that's set up, support email or support at globalcheerdance.org is always open. The emails are open 24/7. So you can send us anything that you want at any time. We encourage that at events. Get on social media, parents, athletes, message us, tag us in your photos, communicate with us, let us know. Maybe we're not 100% perfect. Don't come yelling at us and telling us how bad we are, but at least come tell us that, hey, here's an idea, and we want to hear those ideas. Sometimes we can't do all of those ideas, because if we do it for one person, we can't do it for the thousands. And sometimes the thousands will make it get out of hand, and maybe that's why we can't do it too. So normally there's a reason that's logical. It's not just because we don't want to do something.
All right. Well, next season, the theme for Victory Cheer uniforms is the greatest show on earth. So when I start asking you to bring in some circus equipment,
hey,
I'm going to be counting on your flexibility.
Man, don't be giving me any ideas. We've got that State Fair Spirit Classic brand. There's nothing more that I want to hook up some rides and the swings and setting them up out in the parking lot and doing free rides. And my staff will tell you, man, if you give me the idea too much and a way to do it, I'd be the one hooking on to it, and I'd be buying one and taking it. So.
All right, we're gonna have to bounce ideas off each other for this circus that's happening next year, because I'm bringing.
No, you might not be the one. You're gonna get me into more things than I want to get into. I'll have my whole Sterling circus.
You'll bring it. Don't mind my pet tiger.
You're right. Yeah.
And my daughter's begging me for. She's 8 years old, begging me for a tiger. That movie Aladdin just gave her all sorts of ideas, like we can actually own pet tiger. Yeah. Good.
Wow.
Thank you, Disney.
Stay out of the pen.
All right. So what do you think makes a great competition?
I think the athletes and the families make or break it. I can feel it at different events. There's certain cities that we just have returning gyms all the time, and we can feel the energy and the excitement, and it just makes the event a lot more fun. I can notice new gyms sometimes at events. I'll notice, man, this place seems live, and you start looking around and you can tell, there's a lot of noise coming from a certain gym, and they're a new gym that came to us, and they're just loving it and having the time of their life. And of course, we encourage that. A lot of people don't realize that you can come and you can play your music and you can do your routine and you can get a score, you can get your award, and you can go home. But making an event is different. For the athlete to actually remember it, for the parent to say, hey, we had a good day today. The coach get to experience their team, doing the best that they could that day on the floor. That's a payoff for them too. And to be able to enjoy it, go in and have their little quiet snack rooms in the coaches' areas and all of that. So it's kind of a full circle. The circle's got 360 degrees, and we try to look at as many of those 360 as we can to see how well we can make the experience. But when it boils down to it, the energy from the athletes and the family, that makes or breaks an event.
It does. So tell me some more about that coach room. I didn't get to go into the coaches lounge last time. So tell me, what can coaches look forward to there?
Well, we don't do full meals. We try to keep the registration dollars down. Full meals are not free. That money comes from somewhere. So we try not to pull the thousands of dollars out of your parents. That maybe keeps a kid from cheering at your event. But a lot of times we do finger foods, and we do sandwiches and chips and parfaits and drinks and little snacks, these yogurt cups in the morning, And we do a lot of that type of stuff, and we do it. It's all 100% kid-free zone, so that coaches can get away. They can go in there and charge their phone. They can review their score sheets. They can have meetings with the other coaches in their gyms. They can visit with other coaches also. And a lot of times I go into the coaches room and I'll see other coaches in there visiting, giving each other pointers. It's great to see. So it's just a nice quiet area, but we give that to all of our coaches and gym owners at every event. We've got a space for them that we tend to throughout the day, with the breakfast items, drinks all day, and then lunch that we can put out.
That's awesome. Just having a space where they can have a moment, take a breath, have a quiet place, and really, yeah, like you said, get pointers from other coaches and bounce off ideas, because you learn a lot from your own experience. But if you can start learning more from others that have already been through the trenches, that's really the best part. So.
100%.
So what's something that people don't really realize behind the scenes? You told us a bit about the tech, but what's something that people just don't really see that goes on regularly that we don't see?
Like the setup of the events, all of the unloading of the semis and the loading it back up, and after the event's all said and done, and all the pictures are over with, that night, within 15 minutes or so, when people are leaving, our entire staff is loading everything back up that night. A lot of people don't realize that what they do, but they stay until midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning or whenever, and load all that stuff up and get it right back onto the truck and get it out. So a lot of people don't see that. They don't see that, we're there for hours and hours before, 7 to 8 hours for a complete setup, all the testing of the equipment, air flights, rental cars, semis rolling down the road, staff, all of that, the hours and hours it takes of trying to get all of that stuff done. It's a lot. It really is.
And I'm sure the teams really appreciate it when they get there. When you can have something that just looks flawless, with all of the, people don't see what goes into it and it just comes off flawlessly, you've done a good job.
Yeah.
But I was surprised. Yeah, we went back to tent our booth from the rain, and it was pretty late. It was several hours after the event had ended on one of those nights, and y'all were still there getting your stuff tented up. And
they don't realize, but we have 9 brands all under Global, and all 9 of those brands all have different awards, different banners, different backdrops, different setups. So the staff and the crew, we change it out every single week at the warehouse. The staff and crew are always managing that type of stuff that has to go out that week, and the stuff that's coming back has to get unloaded. So when it's loaded at the end of an event, it's got to be loaded at the back of the semi to come off first thing at the warehouse, so that the next brand, backdrops, lights, awards, all that type of stuff can go onto the semi to go out the next week. So there's a lot to that also.
Crazy amount of logistics. Can you tell us about some of the awards that you've been handing out this year?
One of the big ones was the American Cheer Company with athlete hero capes they get for the grand champions. The gym gets a huge metal shield that has the American Cheer Company logo in the middle of it that they can hang on their gym wall. We've got huge crown trophies for kingdom events. There's 5-foot stuffed purple bear that the grand champion gym wins for the State Fair Spirit Classic. We tried to do our awards with intention, based on the cheer brand itself. Cheer Party USA has nice party jackets. Every brand has something. We give out rings. We give out grand champion rings and first place rings and second place rings, and it's almost one of that meme here. Everybody gets a ring. You got a ring. You got a ring. And, so yeah, we try to give out a lot of rings. We try to give out awards that match every brand. The colors State Fair Spirit Classic has really nice gold heavy. They're blinged out grand champion tags, and they look like a ticket tag, like you would have at a carnival
Oh,
or the
neat.
fair, and a big keychain on it so they can clip them onto their bag, and they're heavy metal. So they last forever, and they can have their grand champion tags on their bags. Um, that type of stuff is try to give them something that they has meaning to them.
And this year at Global, you gave out the biggest ring in the industry.
You can almost fit it around your head. It's
This-
yeah. Some kids could. I remember seeing some kids there in Florida when we were setting them out, and we had them all out on a table. There's a couple of coaches that were setting them over a couple of athletes' heads, and you could see how it would fit over the athlete's head. Um, uh, I'm wanting to do the same ring and update the year on it. I have some staff telling me I need to go bigger, and
Is it going to be
so
a hula hoop next year?
I don't know. We got to figure it out. So it depends. They keep working on me and saying that they're going to get even a bigger ring out of me next year. So we'll see. They're getting close.
Zoe walking down, I know she had walked down the runway with it, and she just loved showing that ring off.
Yeah, it's I think 11 or 12 inches round on the face of it. So
Yeah, that could fit on some of your juniors, maybe.
it's like a dinner plate.
So what makes your brand different in, say, 3 words? What makes you different?
Quality, pricing, and experience. Those 3 things are what we focus on, and I think that those are the 3 words that we try to live up to every day. I think that sets us apart from the others also. We do no state of plays at any events. There won't be ever an event that we force you to stay anywhere to compete. I'm 100% against it. I've changed venues that have tried to force me into it. I just morally don't think it's something that should ever be done to an athlete, and forcing coaches and athletes to stay in the same hotel. Parents might not be able to afford that hotel. It might be the difference of their expense from one being able to pay for one event or 2 events. Everybody should be able to pick their price point where they want to stay. So we do a lot of things like that. We did the 10 and under free on parents, athletes, siblings, 3 years ago. We noticed that. We have a lower crossover fee than most do. So that, small gyms that need to cross over their athletes to build more teams, or to give another athlete more experience, they can do it affordably. That's a big thing. Just a lot of that type of stuff. And then, of course, the experience, like the little brothers, the dance offs, the social media stuff, all of that type of those things are kind of make the day just a little different.
So what are some of your non-negotiable standards? You had mentioned the state of play that's a non-negotiable standard, but what are some of your other non-negotiable standards for an event?
State of play is the worst thing in the industry. 100%, it's the worst thing when it comes to events, anyway. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I can say that we've just got an absolute no to. Most of the other things, we're open on new ideas as long as it improves the experience and the benefits to the athletes and the family.
So I'm really curious to hear the feedback from the cheer industry on this. So for you guys watching, let us know, what is your opinion on state of play? How excited are you about Global Cheer Dance not requiring state to play, and all of the other qualities that we discussed so far? Just tell us what you're thinking. Give us some feedback.
Bring it all to us. Hit me with it all. So
what's one of your biggest challenges been in scaling your industry? Because you were just telling me about how you're adding even more venues this year, and you were talking about making Global even bigger next year. So what's a challenge in scaling it?
Yeah, we just keep trying to reach out more and more gyms, more regions. Just keep asking for us and wanting our events. They're wanting bids to Global Cheer Worlds. They want a Worlds event that they can take their entire program to. Um, whether you got novice teams, rec teams, prep teams, elite teams, all of them can go to Global Cheer Worlds as an entire program. And one of the things that got us there was listening to gyms. So trying to listen and trying to scale ourselves out so that we can still give a good quality product, but we can still get enough staff there is a huge challenge. Um, that I'm always working on, I guess. Upgrading venues. You know, we were doing a lot of small venues, and we've upgraded to a lot of nicer, newer venues, a lot larger. So it takes more teams, more registrations, more things that we need to offer and do to be able to afford the larger venues and to be able to give that better service. So I'm constantly juggling behind the scenes in my office, um, uh, those type of things, basically to make everything better and logistically work out.
So what was a turning point? I know you went from virtual to live, but even with the live events, what do you feel like was a real turning point in your growth?
I think once we started becoming multiple brands, once we reached three and four brands, it was a big turning point because now we had gyms competing their entire seasons with us because they can go to four, five, or six different brands now, and it wasn't always just the same one. The industry kind of followed me with that. If you look at all of the event producers that have been doing this 15, 20 years, it's just been within the last 3 or 4 years that they've started coming out having multiple brands. Everybody told me I was crazy from the start, but I think that gyms wanted to be able to compete with a single event producer with multiple brands and get that different experience. They don't want six of all of the same ring or six of the same banners hanging in their gym unless it's year after year. And so we were able to bring that and we brought that to the industry and started changing that view to where now other event producers are doing the same thing. But I think that was a huge turning point for us, um, uh, being able to take that entire program all season to compete with us, stacking all of their bids. Once we got to that point, it just started really making a difference.
And can you tell us, is there an advantage to coaches kind of having a season pass situation with you, going to, these different brands that you host? Is there any kind of discount that they get in doing that?
There's a huge savings. We have a season zip pass that the athlete can purchase. It's only $2.99. It covers all the events that you want. There's some areas that we've got gyms that are going to 7 and 8 different events. They'll go to six that are fairly close, and then they'll travel. They'll do a Nashville event, or they'll do another travel one to a fun city, and then they stack all of their bids because we don't make you just pick one bid. You get full value of all of them, and all of those bids stack up to where they basically pay all the registration for Global Cheer Worlds.
Mhm.
So in a lot of instances, when you compete with us enough, uh, in reality, your Global Cheer Worlds registration is basically included in your athlete pass, unlimited pass, because of the way that you get a bid at every single event and you can just keep stacking them up. So you get full use out of it. And that athlete pass is only $2.99. We have an unlimited virtual pass too. You can do all six virtual events, which that would get you still six bids to be able to stack for discounts for Global Cheer Worlds. But you can do all six of the virtual events for only 150.
Wow, that's a really good deal. From I'm a mom with competition dance, so I'm used to paying competition dance fees, and those just stack up. So I know in competition cheer, that they stack up. If you really shop around with the different event, companies, and you try to do an event here and there, from different companies, it stacks up fast, and that is a burden on the parents.
Yeah,
So that's really awesome that for $299 they're set for the
everything.
year, and
Yep.
it's something different every single time because of all of the different events that you have going on, the different brands, and they're all so fun.
Correct. And we don't cap it at 6, or
Mhm.
we don't cap it at only one 2-day event. If you want to travel 10 weeks and do 10 events and have that pass, uh, that's all up to you.
So can you tell me about when something didn't go as planned and how did you pivot?
One of the issues that we had one year was the old registration system that some of the other event producers use. It breaks down, and it totally closes down an event, or gyms cannot get their score sheets correctly. There's just a lot of issues. And so I pivoted around it. I found a developer, and I backed it financially and had it developed for zipregistration.com. And that zip registration system is the easiest registration system, scoring system, everything system for cheerleading, for every gym that there is. They can always get their score sheets. When we first brought it out 2 years ago, we would have a couple of issues here or there, and we fixed all of those. It never happened the second week. We had development team totally fixing it. But that system now, the whole registration process has become so easy for the gym owners, that's been probably one of our biggest pivots that we overcame, was just an old registration type system that's in the industry that's not built
Mhm.
on a modern platform at all. It takes 10 clicks on a different screen to try just to get one thing done. And we just had to pivot and get away from that to get to a quality system that has absolutely everything. Your downtime between the end of judging and the beginning of awards, nothing is hand figured. It automatically figures the grand champions, everything, so that that's less downtime. Parents aren't waiting 45 and 50 minutes now in between to try and get awards started. There's just a lot of benefits through the whole process, start to finish, that makes you the entire experience for the gym and the athletes and the families just 100% better.
It's amazing how critical technology has become in the cheer industry, and how, you know, certain companies, if they're falling behind on their tech department, um, they're falling behind, and they're not doing a just service to cheerleaders, you know, not keeping that standard high for the athletes and their families and the coaches. So the fact that you're maintaining your level with technology, and that's something that Victory Cheer Uniforms also really prides itself on. The technology that goes into the background of what we do is what gives a better experience. So something that people don't see in the background, but it pays off
Yeah,
huge
it
for the
does.
experience. For an athlete who's aspiring to be an event producer like you one day, um, let's say Vaughn's retiring one day. What kind of advice would you give to them if they wanted to get into this industry? If someone wanted to step into your shoes?
Stay retired. That's, when I sold out, I was supposed to be retired, and I didn't expect that I would end up into a second career. And the money it takes to sink in to be able to do this stuff the right way, it's not something that you want to just start up all of a sudden. We're fortunate that one bad season or one bad event isn't going to take us out. And there's some, small startup event producers that, a bad situation at an event or something can just totally wipe them out because they can't financially recover from it. And it's kind of, a loss, especially if athletes and parents had money spent on the event, they can't get refunds, that type of stuff. But we've always been able to do that. Make sure, I guess, if you're going to try to get into this business, is make sure that you can get all the equipment and have all the right systems to back you up. and make sure that you always keep the families and athletes as your number one focus. As long as you do all that stuff, you'll probably do all right.
Those are some firm principles. So when you do one day retire from this industry, what's a legacy that you want to leave on cheerleading?
Just to bring it down a notch, that we're all just everyday people, that we're just trying to let the youth, the kids excel at a sport and let them do that. Don't try to conquer the world. Don't try and put everybody else out of business. Don't think that your $1 million is going to change the industry or anything, because you can't buy a score on the floor. No matter how much money you spend, if the athlete doesn't have the talent and the effort or the drive to put in the effort and make it happen, it's not going to happen. Just enjoy every day and let the athletes have their fun on the floor, and let the company just keep growing and enjoy it that way.
Awesome. It's about having a good time, you guys. Working hard and having a good time and seeing it pay off.
Trying to. That's
the Global
right.
Cheer Dance Worlds.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Pensacola, Florida. It's we've got, gyms are lining up, putting it on their schedule for next season. Next April 23rd through the 24th. It's a 3-day event, and we guarantee the athletes to compete twice also. So you're not there for just 2.5 minutes, compete once, and then you're done after you spend all the thousands of dollars. So we give you a guaranteed twice to compete, and gyms are signing up every day. We're getting signups, or they're putting it on their schedule. They're messaging us about it, emailing something. So, we'll probably end up meeting our max number. I'm sure for next season, we'll probably sell out. So.
Well, I'm excited. We are just 6 short months away from competition season 2026, 2027 getting started, and there's so much to do in those 6 short months. So
yeah,
I know you guys are doing your part here at Victory Cheer Uniforms. We're doing our part. We're excited for all the designs that are coming together. Some of them, the greatest show on earth, it's coming to Pensacola next year with you guys. We'll be there.
Let's do it. I'll be there.
All right, Vaughn. Well, can you tell the coaches and the athletes, how can they get signed up for a Global Cheer Dance event?
We have full staff here. Reach out on us on our website, globalcheerdance.org. Email us at support@globalcheerdance.org, or you can, it's in a zip. You can make an account, zipregistration.com, just ZIP registration.com. Easy to make an account. The coaches can add athletes, add your gym info, everything. That's not a parent site. You'll get kicked out. Don't go in there if you're a parent, but they monitor all that. But if you're a gym or a coach, you can make your account in there, and it's zipregistration.com. See all of our events. You can email us from zipregistration.com to get customer support there. No matter which way, if you can find us on the internet, you're going to get customer support. We're here for you.
All right. And we're going to include those links in this posting as well. So it's just really easy for you guys to find it, get signed up, save some cash this season, make the season a little easier on your parents, make it enjoyable for the families that are involved in your gym. And I'm just really excited about a fantastic 2026-2027 season with Global Cheer Dance. So we'll see you out there, Vaughn.
We'll see you. Thank you.
Have a great day.
We'll see you.